What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Wednesday, May 21st. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and on the NBA playoff game there, the Eastern Conference Finals between the Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, things look like they're off to a pretty good start so far. I mean, we had Houston, Tampa Bay, the under 9.5 in that game, a 3-2 win there for Tampa Bay. Both starters were very solid, neither team getting too much going offensively, so an easy cash there on the under. We had the Brewers at -124. That was a 5-2 win. Henderson was great out there, 3 Milwaukee home runs. Feels pretty good. We had the Twins at -115, but that whole mess got suspended, so we'll see what happens with the Twins in this slate, but things are a mess out there. The weather is messing things up. We've got the over there in the Arizona-LA Dodgers game. That game is just getting underway. Unfortunately, no runs through the first 3 innings, so that's not ideal. We've got the Phillies as our massive lock of the day. That one's looking good. They're up 7-2 right now in the bottom of the 7th inning, so hopefully that comes through. And we had the Marlins at +136 as our dog of the day. It was a 14-1 loss, so it looks terrible, but Weathers was great out there. It was the Marlins bullpen that fell apart. So it looked okay, like our idea behind it was solid, but unfortunately the bullpen just didn't work out. So looking like we should be in for another pretty decent day. Hopefully that lock of the day can come through. Now let's go ahead and jump into a very crowded Wednesday slate, guys. And first up, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Reds come into this game 25-25 on the year, fresh off of that 1-0 loss there at the Pirates. Bailey Falter, very, very good out there. 7 strong innings. Now, the Reds, they're going to be hitting the ball and listening to Brady Singer, hoping he can continue what's been a pretty positive season. He's 5-2, a 5.01 ERA, though. Kind of shows he's been a little bit lucky with that run support. His last time out, a little bit better of a start. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs allowed against the Cleveland Guardians in a 5-4 win there for the Reds, but he has not been throwing the ball incredible over up to now, I would say, his last 3 outings in a row. So we'll see what he can do. I'm expecting him to be okay, but definitely not elite. Now, the bullpen for the Reds has looked borderline elite. A 3.31 bullpen ERA is nice. The offense definitely going to have problems over the course of the season. Getting shut out yesterday isn't a great look. Now, they've been hitting the ball pretty well recently. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored, but a lot of that is due to some big outlier performances. Somewhere around 16th in batting average and 12th in on-base percentage. If this team can be average offensively, I think that's a big win for them. So we'll see what they can get up to here against the Pirates, who come into this game fresh off that 1-0 win. We'll see what they can do here, hitting the ball to Andrew Heaney, who's 2-3 this season, a 3.02 ERA. He's fresh off of a nice, very nice outing there at the Phillies. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed. But we saw the Pirates lose that game 8-4, and the problem is their bullpen is terrible, guys. It's what, bottom 8 or 9 in the majors, maybe even worse than that, a 4.55 bullpen ERA. And the offense, not nearly good enough to out-carry that kind of issue. I mean, they scored 1 run in their last 2 games. They scored 1, 0, and 2 runs over their last few. They're last in the majors in runs scored. That shouldn't be a shock to anyone at this point. They're second to last in batting average. They are dead last in slugging percentage. This is just straight up an awful team at the plate. So, looking at the numbers for this one, we see the Reds at -125, the Pirates at +110. We got a total of 8 out there. The Reds 12-12 on the road, 13-10-1 to the under on the road. Pittsburgh 9-14 at home, 11-11-1 to the over/under at home. I'm not interested in that total of 8, maybe shades slightly towards the under, but I do think this is a decent bounce back spot here for the Reds. I think they're going to put up some runs in this game. If you put up many runs there against the Pirates, you're probably going to win. Heaney could give them 5 good innings, but the Pittsburgh bullpen's going to have to come into play at some point, and it is bad. Next up, guys, we have the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Cubs got the blowout 14-1 win that we were just talking about there in the recap in Game 2. They're 29-20 on the year, handing the ball to Cade Horton, who's 2-0 this year, a 6.00 ERA. Now, this is going to be his 3rd start of the year, and he's given up 3 earned runs on 4 hits over 4 innings to the Mets, and 7 hits, 3 earned runs, and 2 home runs to the White Sox. Now, both those games were wins for the Cubs. He got plenty of run support, but not a starting pitcher that I'm super excited about. I mean, the dude's 23 years old, going to have some growing pains, going to have to make some adjustments, but I'm not super sold yet. So we'll see what he can do. The Cubs bullpen has been improving slightly, but still a 4.31 bullpen ERA leaves a lot of room for improvement. The thing that carries this Chicago team and makes them good is really their offense, guys. That's what has set them apart. They're 1st in the majors in runs scored. They're 8th in the majors in batting average, but top 6 in on-base percentage. This is a very good offensive team overall. So not a lot of negative things for me to say about the Cubs when they're at the plate. They're taking on the Marlins, who are hoping to bounce back in that 14-1 loss. They're 19-28 on the year, not a team that came into the season with a ton of expectations. They're in the ball in this one to Max Meyer. He's 3-4, a 4.47 ERA. He's fresh off a very reasonable, not necessarily dominant, but 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks, and a 9-4 win there against Tampa Bay. So pretty good stuff in that one. We'll see what he looks like against the Cubs, not a team that he's faced yet this season, but he's a young guy that's shown some very good stuff at different points of the season, so I like him a bit. I hate the Marlins bullpen though, guys. Bottom 5 in the majors, a 5.19 bullpen ERA, and the offense obviously can really pull a disappearing act, putting up 1 run yesterday, but they've scored 1, 8, 5, 0, and 9 runs over their last few. Definitely not the end of the world. Kyle Stowers is off to a fantastic start to his season. The Marlins, 17th in the majors in runs scored, 12th in team batting average, so not a horrifyingly bad offense. And looking at the numbers for this one, we see the Cubs at -130, the Marlins at +110. We've got totals out there of 8.5 or 9. The Cubs, 13-10 on the road, 13, 8-2 to the over on the road. Miami, 13-13 at home, 15-11 to the over at home. In terms of a side in this one, I don't have a big lean. Maybe you could take just a little look there at the Marlins at +110, but I think over 8.5 is very live in the spot. I think we'll see plenty of offense. Horton has obviously not been good. Max Meyer has shown good stuff at different points, but neither bullpen is very good. The Cubs have already shown they could easily score 9 runs on their own in this series. So yeah, I think this is a very good spot to look at over 8.5. Jumping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, guys, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years running and is off to a great start to the year. Very, very good stuff over there. We have a premium capper, a guy with a ton more experience than me. He has been absolutely cooking here in the early going. So definitely consider going over there and signing up. A crazy amount of work goes into those premium picks. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as, like I was saying, I'm not the premium handicapper for MLB over there at Stump the Spread. You also need to get over to StumpTheSpread.com to sign up for our free email newsletter. All they need is your name and your email address. You'll be on that free email list and you'll get every single day 1 email with free picks included. There will be updates on our results. There will be parlays included in those emails pretty often. There's also niche sports betting advice like golf bets, NASCAR bets, all kinds of crazy stuff, guys. Anything you can imagine has a reasonable chance to end up in those emails. We have dudes watching pretty much everything. And now, guys, what a lot of you are probably pretty stoked about coming up in today's video, we're going to be doing our members only giveaways. If you want to become a channel member, we're going to be giving away 2 pieces of Stump the Spread merch every single month. All you have to do is click that little join button below the video and you can sign up for a channel membership. You'll also get early access to all of our videos and you'll get your name up on screen in every single video, just like you've been seeing right now. But now, guys, let's hop in. We're going to roll for those 2 pieces of Stump the Spread merch. Okay, guys, Baby Stump just woke up from nap. I thought it'd be cool to have him in here for the giveaways. So let's go ahead and spin this wheel. We're doing 2 giveaways. So if you don't win on this first pull, don't worry, you've got a second chance. So let's go ahead and hit the button, see who we get for spin number 1. It's looking like it's going to be pretty close. So it's going to be David Geary. So David Geary, get down there in the comments. Let me know that you've seen that you won this giveaway, and we will go ahead and get that out to you as soon as possible. We'll give you information on how to get things moving in the right direction. But let's go ahead, remove you from that one, and we're going to go ahead and roll one more time. Let's see who wins the second piece of Stump the Spread merch. You can get either a hoodie or a t-shirt, whichever one you would like. And it looks like it's going to be... Ooh, Chuck Williams. Chuck Williams, you get down there in the comments as well. Let me know that you see that you won, and we'll reach out to you. And Baby Stump says congratulations to both the winners of the giveaway. We're looking forward to doing another couple giveaways next month. If you're one of the winners of the giveaway, hit me up down in the comments. Obviously, I'll be able to see that you're a channel member. It shows right down there in the comments. And then I will contact you, or I'll give you instructions on how to contact Stump the Spread so we can get your name and your address and what size and what kind of merch you would like, and we can get that shipped out to you right away. All right, guys, congratulations to the winners. Now we're going to go ahead and hop back into this very busy Wednesday slate. We're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road here to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Astros come into this game fresh off a 3-2 loss there. So yeah, a little bit irritating to lose game 2 of that series due to a sacrifice fly. But hey, you put yourselves in that kind of situation. Now the Astros handing the ball to their ace in this game. Hunter Brown's been lights out this season. 6-2 on the year, a 1.43 ERA. He's fresh off of a very good 8-inning start there against the Rangers. 8 innings, 3 hits, only 1 earned run allowed. Now I'm a little bit worried about how he's going to look coming off of pitching 8 innings, but we'll see. Maybe he'll be fine. He did pitch 7 innings against Toronto not too long ago and followed it up with a reasonable but not dominant start there against the Royals. But overall, the kid has been amazing this year. No doubt about that. The Astros have to be hyped with what they have in him. They also have to be hyped about their bullpen. Second best in the majors, a 2.75 bullpen ERA. The offense, though, is a problem, guys. They're currently 20th in the majors in runs scored. They are 15th in batting average. They've scored 2, 4, 4, 1, 6, and 0 runs over their last few games. That's not what I would term dominant stuff. So we'll see what they can get to here against the Rays, who come into this game obviously fresh off that win. They're 22-26 on the season, hitting the ball to Taj Bradley, who's been a bit all over the place. The dude's only 24, so we can cut him some slack, but 3-3, a 4.80 ERA is not what we were expecting from him this year. Now, his last start, his worst recently. Now, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs against the Marlins. Not great. That was also a 9-4 loss there for the Rays, but we did see him do some good stuff against Milwaukee. He had a mediocre to good start against the Yankees, so I don't think we need to push the alarm button yet, but I'm a little bit worried about Taj Bradley. Now the Tampa Bay bullpen has looked reasonable. A 3.36 bullpen ERA has them in the top 10 in the majors. The offense is the problem for this squad, guys. 22nd in the majors in runs scored. They are 19th in batting average, but 25th in slugging percentage. Just not a team that's going to scare you too much when they're coming up to the plate. So looking at the numbers here, the Astros are minus 135. The Rays are plus 115. We somehow in this game have a total of 9. That feels insane to me. Honestly, completely insane. So looking at the trends here, Houston 10-13 on the road, 12-9-2 to the under on the road. Tampa Bay 11-18 at home, 16-11-2 to the under at home. I'm just going to take the under in this one, guys, and it's definitely going in the pinned comment. I don't see any way we should expect these two teams to come up with this much offense. Feels bonkers to me. Maybe it's a little bit of a trap spot. I don't know, but I'm getting trapped, guys. If you want to get trapped with me, follow along because I'm definitely going to be on the under 9 in this one. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Orioles come into this game on quite the losing streak. They've now lost 8 in a row. They're hitting the ball in this one to Tomoyuki Sagano, hoping he can turn things around for them. He's been good, 4-3, a 3.08 ERA. Now, he's coming off a kind of mediocre start against the Twins. 6 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, gave up 2 home runs in that game. But overall, he's been very solid. A very, maybe the lone bright spot this season for the Orioles. They've had a really, really rough time. So we'll see if he can hold up here. We'll see if the Orioles bullpen can improve at all. A 4.90 bullpen ERA has definitely been part of their struggles. And the offense, not looking so good either. 2, 4, 4, 6, 3, and 0 runs over their last few games. This team, I don't even know what to say, guys. They're the biggest disappointment in the majors this season. They're 25th in the majors in runs scored, 25th in on-base percentage. They're just flat out bad. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Brewers. If you enjoyed cashing that Brewers pick yesterday, guys, slam that like button. That was a really nice one to hit. And not too much of a sweat there, a 5-2 win. Milwaukee only 24-25 on the year. They're hitting the ball in this one to Chad Patrick, who's 2-4 this season, a 3.35 ERA. This 26-year-old has done some positive stuff this year. Now, his last start didn't look so hot. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs against the Twins in a 3-0 loss, but he didn't let go of the rope. He kept things pretty competitive, and he hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs over any of his last 5 starts. So I'm going to give him credit for being decent. Now, the bullpen situation for Milwaukee is concerning. A 4.53 bullpen ERA is not great. We will see what they can get up to here eventually, but not a very good bullpen. It's not looking like right now. The offense may be finding their way a little bit. They've scored 5 runs in each of their last 3 games. That's still not amazing. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored, but 28th in slugging, 24th in batting average. This is not going to be a dominant offensive team, guys. It's too big of a sample size. I can't possibly be talking to thinking they're suddenly going to be really good. So, looking at the numbers for this game, it's very similar to what we saw yesterday. The Orioles at plus 108, the Brewers at minus 125. We got a total of 8.5. Baltimore 7-16 on the road, 14-8-1 to the under on the road. Milwaukee 14-9 at home, 14-8-1 to the under at home themselves. I think we have to take a reasonable look at under 8.5. I don't think that's out of the question in this game. I'm maybe a little bit concerned about it. I feel like these teams have to break out offensively a little bit at some point, but I don't know. I don't know. Now, in terms of the side, I'll be leaning a bit towards the Brewers here at minus 125 just because of how bad the Orioles have been all year long. Like, I'm just not interested in backing them, but I don't know if we can put any of that in the pinned comment. I would say the Brewers at minus 125 has a chance, but I don't know how much I trust Chad Patrick. Next up, guys, we got the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, the Tigers won kind of a thriller there. Riley Green hitting a ninth inning RBI double to give the Tigers the 5-4 win there over the Cardinals in Game 2 of this series after Detroit lost Game 1 11-4. The Tigers don't have a confirmed starter for this game, so that's a little bit annoying. Now, overall, we've been obviously, pretty darn happy with what we've seen from this team, in terms of the pitching staff. It's looked very, very good. They're shuffling the rotation around there. Olsen, with that finger issue is headed to the IL, but overall, guys, this has been a very reasonable, pitching staff. So I'm not expecting them to, have some sort of massive fall off here. And if it ends up being a bullpen start, the Tigers' bullpen's been top 6, top 7 in the majors. So I don't think they're going to have that much trouble there either. Offensively, they've taken a huge leap forward this year. They're 4th in the majors in runs scored, 6th in batting average, basically looking like a top 5, top 6 kind of offense in all of the major leagues. So that's a pretty big difference from what we were seeing a year ago. We'll see what they can do here on the road against the Cardinals, who come into this game 27-22 on the year. Much better than I would have expected them to be, if I'm being completely honest. They are 2 games back of Chicago there in the NL Central, but they're in the ball in this one to Andre Palante, who's 4-2 this year, a 4.11 ERA. He's fresh off back-to-back dazzling performances, guys. He went 7 1/3 innings against Washington, gave up 2 earned runs in that start, and the Cardinals won 4-2. Then he went up against the Royals in Kansas City, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs in that one. He hasn't walked a batter over his last 2 starts. The control issues seem like they are in the rear view, and he's looking very, very good out there. And speaking of things that are looking good, the Cardinals bullpen, not something I had on my bingo card, is looking good. They've improved drastically, above average now in the majors, a 3.83 bullpen ERA. And the offense has been very good as well, guys. They're 7th in the majors in runs scored, 2nd in batting average, batting .266 as a team. We liked what we've seen early on from Newbar, Brendan Donovan. Contreras has also been very good. This is a team that can definitely hit the ball. So looking at the numbers here, we see the Tigers at minus 104 without a confirmed starter. That's a little bit weird. The Cardinals at minus 112. We've got a total of 8.5. Detroit 14-12 on the road, 17-9 to the over on the road. The Cardinals 16-6 at home, 12-9-1 to the over at home. Maybe we have to consider over 8.5 in this spot. I'm not loving it. I do think there's a decent chance the Cardinals bounce back and win this game, but if I'm going to make any play on this one, guys, it's going to come out well after we find out who's actually starting this game for the Tigers. So be checking that pinned comment. This one has a chance to end up in there once we have a confirmed starter. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Chicago White Sox. The Mariners and White Sox are actually playing right now with the White Sox up 1-0 in the end of the 7th inning. So that's probably a concerning look there for the Mariners. They've been having a pretty good year. You don't want to be losing games to the White Sox. Now, they're hitting the ball to Logan Evans in this one. This young 23-year-old is having a great time in the early goings. He's 2-1, a 2.57 ERA. He's fresh off of a 6-inning, 7-hit, 0 runs allowed performance there at the Padres, where, we saw the Mariners win 5-1. This is his 5th start of the year. He had one pretty bad one there against the Rangers, but has settled in and looked very reliable since. And now he gets to go up against a pretty weak hitting team. So not looking like a terrible spot to be backing Logan Evans. Now, the bullpen for Seattle has also been solid. Maybe not dominant, but a 3.49 bullpen ERA. Definitely not a huge problem. And the offense, despite what's going on in the current game, guys, has looked very good this year. They've scored 5, 6, 4, 5, 2, 2, and 5 runs over their last few. They're all the way up to 11th in the majors in runs scored, and after being one of the worst offenses in all of Major League Baseball last year, that is quite the massive upgrade. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the White Sox, who come into this game 14-34 on the year. We'll see how this goes. They're reportedly going to be handing the ball to Shane Smith, or apparently maybe this Hauser guy. We'll see if that happens. They signed right-hander Adrian Hauser to start on Tuesday. Oh, that's the guy that started on Tuesday. Okay, fair enough. So they're going to be handing the ball to Shane Smith in this one. He's 1-3, but a 2.05 ERA is very respectable. His last start, though, he got away with some, guys. 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, but only one of them was earned. So we'll see which version of him we get in this game. Obviously not somebody that was dominant his last time out, but he could bounce back. He's 25 years old. You got to expect some inconsistency there. The White Sox bullpen, though, is pretty consistent, and they are bad, guys. A 4.73 bullpen ERA. Not as bad as last year, but also pretty terrible. And the offense looking not good. 28th in the majors in runs scored. Last in the majors in batting average. You kind of see where this is headed, guys. This White Sox offense has scored 1, 2, 3, 3, and 1 runs over their last few. They're bad. So looking at the numbers here, the Mariners are minus 150. The White Sox are plus 130. We've got a total of 8.5 or 8. Seattle 14-8 on the road. That's an MLB best mark on the road. They're 12-10 to the over on the road. The White Sox 9-13 at home, 11-9-2 to the over at home. I'm not going to complicate this, guys. Really, either way the current game ends, especially if Seattle loses, though, I love the Mariners here at minus 150. This price is not correct. Like, I know Shane Smith's been good, but if the Mariners get held to like 1 or 2 runs in this current game, they're going to have a breakout offensive performance tomorrow and put up some runs. So definitely give me the Mariners. I'm not letting that minus 150 price tag scare me off. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Minnesota Twins. This has been a mess of a series, guys. We had one game get suspended. We had a game get postponed, and it's not going to be played until September. And now they're trying to finish this series and get an actual game played here. We'll see what happens. Looking at the numbers, obviously the Guardians are 25-21 on the year. They're handing the ball to Bybee in this game, reportedly. He's 3-4, a 4.06 ERA. His last time out, he got shelled at the Reds, though. Shelled. 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them were earned, and a 5-4 loss there for the Guardians. So yeah, not a great look. Didn't have an amazing time against the Phillies starting before that, but was fine. Pretty good stuff in some starts, but not a guy that I can really look at as a dominant starter. So we'll see what he can do. The Cleveland bullpen's been pretty bad, below average for sure, a 4.06 bullpen ERA. In this offense, nothing to write home about, guys. They're tied for 22nd in the majors in runs scored. They're 23rd in the MLB, batting .233 as a team. Not a lot of guys are very scary for them up the plate. Manzardo, he, after getting off of that super hot start, has fallen off a cliff. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Twins, who are 26-21 on the year. We've been trying to put this team in this series. In the pinned comment, thought they'd be so good. Well, unfortunately, the weather had other plans for us. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Chris Paddock, who's 2-3, a 4.05 ERA. He's fresh off of back-to-back dominant starts, guys. He shut down the Giants and then shut down the Baltimore Orioles. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. Struck out 3, walked 1, and a 4-0 win there for the Twins. Now, Paddock's been excellent. So is that Twins bullpen. They're third best in the majors right now, a 2.89 bullpen ERA. Pretty dominant stuff. Now, I'm not going to say the Twins' offense is dominant, but they've been headed in the right direction. 19th in the majors in runs scored. They are, 13th, 17th in the majors, batting .242 as a team. They haven't shown tons of power, but they've been getting it done up there at the plate. They just went on that long 13-game winning streak. They've had to wait since then to really get to play a full game. I think we're going to see a nice bounce back from them here, but we'll wait and see. This is probably game 2. There might be 2 games played by these teams in today. So this is going to be game 2. We're looking at the Tanner Bybee versus Chris Paddock game. That's the one we're wanting. So the Guardians are listed at plus 122. The Twins are minus 145. We've got a total of 7.5. Cleveland 11-13 on the road, 13-8-3 to the over on the road. Minnesota 15-6 at home. 15-6. They are 13-7-1 to the over at home. You could talk me into over 7.5 in this game for sure. Just given these trends, I think we'll see some offense out there, but I'm not putting that in the pinned comment. I am definitely kicking around the idea of putting the Twins at minus 145 in the pinned comment, though. We've been trying to get a pick in on this series, a whole series long, basically, and it hasn't worked out because of the weather, but I do think this is a pretty good spot to look at for the Twins to get a nice win. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the San Francisco Giants. The Royals come into this game 27-22 on the year. They're actually playing right now with the Royals down 1-2 in the middle of the 5th inning. Unfortunately, we don't have a confirmed starter for this one for the Royals. That's getting a little bit irritating. It's getting to that point in the season where teams start to play it a little bit close to the chest or a little bit fast and loose with who's going to be actually starting these games. So you just got to bear with us. Check back that pinned comment throughout the day just in case we end up being able to throw some interesting ones in there. But we'll see who the Royals hand the ball to in this one. In general, their starting pitching has been, I would say, decent. They're first in the majors in quality starts. They're second in earned run average as a team. So not a lot of bad things to look at there for the Royals on the mound. The bullpen's also been very good down the stretch, a 3.20 bullpen ERA. So we'll see who they end up handing the ball to. The offense has been bad. No way around that. Not a good offensive team, guys. They were 27th in the majors in runs scored. They're 24th in on-base percentage. In their current game, they've only scored 1 run. This is not what I would term as a team that I'm super excited about at the plate at any point. So we'll see what they get up to here against the Giants, who are 28-20 on the year. They're cooling off after that hot start, but they're handing the ball in this one to Logan Webb, who's 5-3 on the year, a 2.42 ERA. He's coming off a dominant start against the Athletics. 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed, and that was a 9-1 win there for the Giants. So very, very good stuff. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of his last 3 starts, and really only had 1 bad start in there getting knocked around by the Padres, but I like what I'm seeing right now from Logan Webb. I also love what I'm seeing from the Giants bullpen. It's the best bullpen in the majors at the moment, a 2.64 bullpen ERA. Obviously looking pretty dominant there. The offense for the Giants, I wouldn't say it's dominant. We like what we've seen from Wilmer Flores this season, but 10th in the majors in runs scored seems a little bit incorrect. They're 22nd in batting average, 19th in slugging percentage. I don't expect this to be a top 10 offense. So, looking at the numbers here, the Royals are plus 168. The Giants are minus 200. We've got a total of 7.5. The Royals 10-13 on the road, 15-7-1 to the under on the road. San Francisco 16-8 at home, 14-10 to the under at home. Given these two offenses and who's likely to end up on the mound, you have to take a look at under 7.5, I suppose. But once we find out who the Royals have to go out there on the mound, there's a chance we could be back in Kansas City in this one. Theoretically. Seems a little bit unlikely, though. So keep an eye on this one. Maybe a little lean towards the under. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Braves come into this game 24-24 on this season after losing Game 1 of this series 5-3. They're handing the ball to A.J. Smith-Shawver, hoping he can help them bounce back. This 22-year-old having a pretty decent time out there on the big league mound. 3-2 on the year, a 2.33 ERA. His last start was very good, and it was against the Nationals. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, only a single unearned run, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks in a 5-2 win there for the Braves. Also, the Braves are 5-0 over his last 5 starts, so pretty darn good stuff. You can't ask for much better out of a 22-year-old starting pitcher. The Braves bullpen continues to get better, a 3.78 bullpen ERA, a nice step in the right direction. Now, we are a bit worried about the offense, obviously coming off of a game where they only scored 3 runs. Over the course of the year, they're 17th in the majors in runs scored. They are 14th in the majors in batting average, so pretty average, but not in a terrible spot here going up against the Nationals. So we'll see what they can do. The Nationals come into this game 22-27 on the year, so doing some good stuff, winning 4 in a row. Throwing the ball to Trevor Williams, who's 2-5 this season, a 5.91 ERA. His last time out was against the Atlanta Braves. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned in a 5-2 loss there for the Nationals. So definitely something to keep in mind in this game. The bullpen for the Nationals, guys, I don't have anything good to say. A 6.41 bullpen ERA. They are horrendously bad. And the offense, while it's been much better recently, I don't really care about you putting up double-digit runs against the Orioles. Call me back when you put up double digits here against A.J. Smith-Shawver, because I don't really see that happening. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, but 20th in batting average, 20th in on-base percentage. I think this team's just been overachieving here a little bit recently. So we'll see what they do in this one. The odds makers like the Braves here at minus 160. The Nationals are plus 135. A total of 8.5 in this game. Atlanta only 9-16 on the road, 12-11-2 to the under on the road. Washington 10-12 at home, 13-8-1 to the over at home. Guys, I think this is an excellent spot to back the Atlanta Braves given the history of these two pitchers in this specific matchup. Now, at minus 160, that's pretty expensive. Are we going to make the Braves at minus 160 our lock of the day? That would be a little bit bold, but I'd be lying if I said this one wasn't on the list. Rapid fire through these games, guys. We're looking at the New York Mets going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Mets come into this game 29-20 on the season. Fresh off of another loss, losing 2-0 there to the Red Sox. The bats are just not existing right now. There was a lot of craziness in that game, guys. Some ejections and all kinds of wild stuff. We'll see what goes on, but the Mets looking weird right now. They're handing the ball to Taylor Miguel, who's 3-4 on the year, a 3.74 ERA. He's fresh off of a 3rd straight, pretty mediocre start. Now, struggling against the Cardinals, Cubs, and Yankees, you can be excused a little bit, but his control has been all over the place. He's given up a couple home runs over that stretch. It's not been looking good. So we'll see what he does here against Boston. We'll see if that Mets bullpen can hold things together. A 2.98 bullpen ERA is not headed the direction that they want to be headed. And the offense is bottoming out, guys. They've scored 0, 1, and 2 runs over their last few games. Soto looking very frustrated and really, really struggling out there. You pay that guy an awful lot of money, and all of a sudden he sucks. That probably doesn't feel too good if you are a Mets fan. Now, we'll see what they can get up to here after the Red Sox, who come into this game winners of 2 in a row, but not having the best time at 25-25. They're handing the ball to Garrett Crochet, who's been very good this season, 4-3, a 2.00 ERA. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of his last 4 starts. Unfortunately, the Red Sox are only 2-2 over those starts, so he's doing what he can to keep his team in games, but they're just not always there to back him up with the run support. So we'll see what they can get done here against the Mets. The bullpen situation for Boston, not the end of the world, a 3.50 bullpen ERA, clearly above average. The offense was supposed to be so elite this year, but not really happening, guys. Bregman's hitting the ball well, but they're 6th in the majors in runs scored, but they're not looking like that right now. 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, and 5 runs over the last few games. Doesn't look like an elite offense to me. So Looking at the numbers here, the Mets are plus 125, the Red Sox are minus 148. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Mets 12-14 on the road, 15-10-1 to the under on the road. Boston 13-11 at home, 12-10-2 to the under at home. This is a bit of a sticky spot, guys. Megill's been so bad lately, and Crochet's been so good. I feel like we have to side with the Red Sox. Now, those Mets bats are going to awaken at some point. We just don't know when. This feels a little bit sketchy, but I think I will side with the Red Sox at home, but not a pinned comment play for me. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The Rangers took the 5-2 loss in Game 1 of this series. Judge hitting a home run, and yeah, you kind of know how that can go. Now, the Rangers are going to hand the ball in this one to Jacob deGrom, who's 4-1 this year, a 2.29 ERA, coming off his best start of the season. Now, they did let him go 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, in a 1-0 win there for the Rangers, but letting him go 8 innings feels like a little bit much to me. Now, we'll see what he can do here against the Yankees. Obviously, he's looking great. He should know his body well enough to know if he should have stayed in or not, so maybe he'll be fine. I think that's definitely a possibility, but I could also see the opposite happening. Now, the bullpen for the Rangers has not been good. A 3.94 bullpen ERA leaves a lot to be desired, and the offense is pretty terrible, guys. 2, 3, 5, 3, and 1 runs over their last few games. They're 26 in the majors in runs scored and 27th in on-base percentage. That does not fill me with optimism. So we'll see what they can do here against the Yankees, who've won 2 in a row. They're up to 28-19 on the year. Judge is up to 16 home runs. They're hitting the ball in this one to Ryan Yarbrough. He comes into this game, hasn't figured out a result this season. He's normally a bullpen guy, but his last 2 outings have both been starts, and they have both been excellent, guys. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 earned runs against the Athletics. 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run against the Rays. So he's looked pretty good, pretty darn good all season long. So expecting good stuff from him. And if this is a full bullpen start from the Yankees, which is kind of what it looks like, a 3.41 bullpen ERA doesn't look too bad. Now, can they go toe-to-toe with DeGrom? Maybe that's a big ask. But the Yankees offense has been dominant this season, obviously. I mean, yeah, Aaron Judge, the numbers are astronomical. They're 3rd in the majors in runs scored. They're 4th in the majors in batting average, 1st in on-base percentage. This is a crazy, crazy strong offense. So looking at the numbers here, it's close to a coin flip. The Rangers are minus 105. The Yankees are minus 115. We've got a total of 7.5. The Rangers 8-13 on the road, 11-9-1 to the under on the road. The Yankees 15-9 at home, 13-11 to the under at home. I think under 7.5 is live in this game. Obviously, it's not, like a crazy amazing spot, but I do think the under is certainly something to look at. In terms of a side, I have a hard time backing DeGrom coming off of that long start there. So give me the Yankees as a small lean, but once again, guys, not a spot I'm showing tons of value. Next up, we've got the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Padres are slumping, guys. They've lost 4 in a row. They're 27-19 on the year, handing their ball to Randy Vasquez, who's 3-3 this season, a 3.45 ERA. Now, he's fresh off of a couple very good starts. I would say 3 straight dominant starts. Now, when you're going up against the Pirates, the Rockies, and the Angels, maybe we take those with a little bit of a pinch of salt because those are 3 of the worst offenses in baseball. But he's looked excellent in those games, and the Padres have won all of those games. So maybe this is a chance for them to have a little bit of a bounce back. The bullpen for the Padres has stayed pretty solid. A 3.24 bullpen ERA is good. The offense has deserted them, though, guys. 0, 1, 1, 1, and 5 runs over their last few games. They got to bounce back at some point. They're the 16th highest scoring team in the majors despite that slump. This is a very talented offensive team like Tatis, Machado. Like, this team has some crazy, crazy good bats. They just got to figure things out here. So we'll see what they can do here up against the Blue Jays, who come into this game 23-24 on the year. Obviously, winning game 1 of the series feels great. Throwing the ball in this one to Kevin Gausman, who's 3-4 this season, a 4.59 ERA. His last start, he got shelled by Tampa Bay. Start for that, got knocked around by the Mariners. Now he's got to go up against the Padres. Like, this is not a super easy situation. He has had some really bad times against some pretty, any decent team that he's faced, really, he's struggled against. So we'll see what Gausman can do out there on the mound, see if that Toronto bullpen can continue to pull things together. A 3.80 bullpen ERA is showing plenty of improvement, but the season's not over, so we'll see what they look like down the stretch. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, I'm a little surprised to see, the Padres are plus 126, the Blue Jays are minus 148. We've got a total of 9. The Padres are still above 500 on the road, 11-10 away from home. They're also 11-10 to the over on the road. Toronto, 13-12 at home, 14-11 to the over at home. I think this is an excellent spot to take the Padres here. Maybe we're trying to catch a falling knife by, picking a team that's been slumping, and I think this is a spot they break out of that slump, but I really do think this is a great spot for them to break out of that slump, and there's a decent chance this Padres pick becomes our dog of the day. I know we've been burned by the Padres lots of times this season, guys, but maybe it's time to get hurt again. Rounding into the home stretch here in terms of the MLB slate, guys, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. Now, the Phillies and Rockies are still playing right now. The Phillies are messing around in the bottom of the ninth inning. They're still up 7-4, so hopefully they come through here in the end for us. There's 2 outs as well, but there's a runner on second base, and the Phillies bullpen not the best. Now, they're hitting the ball in this one to Taijuan Walker, who's 1-3 on the year, a 2.62 ERA. He's actually been very, very good. He's coming off of a short bullpen outing there against the Cardinals. I guess not that short. He went 3 innings, but didn't look great. Other than that, he's looked pretty solid. I mean, he had a 3-inning bullpen appearance where he only gave up 1 hit and struck out 7 there against Tampa Bay. So we'll have to wait and see which version of him we get. Obviously, going up against the Rockies doesn't feel too bad. And the last time he faced them was a start back on the 3rd of last month. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, and no runs in a 3-1 win there for the Phillies. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. The Phillies bullpen, also something to keep in mind. It is a mess. A 4.48 bullpen ERA is actually kind of painting an incorrect picture. I think this bullpen is pretty darn bad. So we'll see what they can do there, the pitching staff in general. Now, the offense, obviously doing its thing. 7 runs in their current game, 9 the game before that. Trey Turner crushing the ball right now. Schwarber crushing the ball right now. They're 9th in the majors in runs scored. They are 5th in the majors in batting average. This is a dominant offensive team, and they're going up against a terrible opponent here in the Rockies, who are 8-39 on the year, clearly the worst team in the majors. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Carson Palmquist, who's 0-1, an 11.25 ERA. This is only his second start of the year, but his first one, he got obliterated there by the Diamondbacks. 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. This young 24-year-old lefty obviously has a ton to work on still. He'll probably be fine, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but not having a great time his last outing. So the bullpen for the Rockies, obviously better than last year, but still terrible. And the offense, among the worst in the majors. Second to last in runs scored, second to last in on-base percentage. You kind of see the picture I'm painting here. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Phillies are massive favorites, -235. The Rockies are +195. Got a total of 11.5. The Phillies 12-10 on the road, 13-8-1 to the under on the road. Colorado 5-17 at home. That's an MLB worst home mark. They're 12-9-1 to the over at home. So I'm not too interested in that total. Maybe you could look at under 11.5. Okay, the Phillies did win 7-4. So cash that lock of the day. Put it on the board, guys. In terms of this game, there's a chance the Phillies at -235 could be our lock of the day once again, because I have zero faith out there in Palmquist. I think Taijuan Walker's been throwing the ball great. Getting another start against a team he's already dominated once this year also makes this very appealing. So the Phillies at -235 definitely goes on the list as a possible lock of the day. Now, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Athletics. The Angels come into this game where actually these two teams are playing right now. Things are all tied up at 4 apiece in the top of the 5th. Some good news for the Angels is Trout is getting closer to his return from a bone bruise, but they've won their last 4 in a row after sweeping the Dodgers. Things have continued to go well. They're hitting the ball to Jack Kohanowitz, who's 3-5 this year, a 4.71 ERA. His last 2 starts have given them a lot of hope. He dominated the Orioles and then dominated the Dodgers, so that's pretty good. But the bullpen situation is still a problem. A 6.92 bullpen ERA is worst in the majors. The offense, while it is turning things on now, does it really have the legs to continue? I mean, they're 21st in the majors in runs scored. They are last in the majors in on-base percentage. I'm not sure how much longer they can keep getting away with that. So we'll see what they do here against the Athletics, who are apparently going to be hitting the ball to JP Sears in this one. He's 4-3, a 3.31 ERA, but he's coming off a bad start against the Giants. He's been good over the course of the year, but a lot of his great starts have come against some pretty mediocre offenses. So we'll see what he does here against the apparently red-hot Angels. The Athletics bullpen, though, terrible, a 5.65 bullpen ERA. 3rd worst in the majors. And the offense, while it's been amazing this season, is in quite the slump, scoring 3, 2, 0, 1, and 2 runs over their last few. The 4 runs they've put up in their current game are the most they've scored in like a week or something. So looking pretty bleak. The numbers for this game, guys, we got the Angels at +135, the Athletics at -155. We got a total of 10.5. The Angels 12-15 on the road, 15-12 to the over on the road. Sacramento, or the Athletics, depending on how you want to look at it, 8-14 at home, 14-8 to the over at home. I'm going to be leaning a bit here towards the Angels at +135. I don't have enough faith in this to put it anywhere near the pinned comment, but I don't like what the Athletics are doing right now. I like what the Angels are doing a bit better, so give me a lean towards the Angels as underdogs. In our last MLB game, before we hop over and look at that NBA playoff game, we've got the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. Now, the current game in this series is not going the way we would have hoped or guessed. It's a 1-0 game in the top of the 6th. Thought we'd see plenty of offense in that one, and that is just not happening so far. But we got a few innings left, and these teams are pretty volatile. So we'll see what happens. Now, the Diamondbacks going to hand the ball in this game to Corbin Burns, who's 3-1 on the year, a 2.56 ERA. He's fresh off of a 4th straight dominant start, including a 7-inning 5-hit, no run allowed start against the Dodgers, where we saw that the Diamondbacks win that game 3-0. So Burns has been lights out. The Diamondbacks bullpen's been pretty bad, bottom 4 in the majors. The offense has not been as good as last year here in the early goings, but they're pretty darn good, guys. They're 5th in the majors in runs scored. They're 7th in batting average and 3rd in on-base percentage. You can trust them to put up some runs. So we'll see what they do here against the Dodgers, who come into this game 29-19 on the year, hitting the ball to Dustin May, who is 1-4 this season, a 4.43 ERA. And the last time he faced the Diamondbacks, 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. Pitched his way out of trouble a lot. Now, he also had a bad start against the Angels recently, which is a pretty bad look. Not a great start against the Braves either. So somebody that I kind of expect to continue to struggle. The Dodgers bullpen has also not been nearly as good recently. An ERA now over 4. And the offense, while it's not doing too much in its current game, has still been very good, obviously. I mean, yeah, Freeman doing his thing, Ohtani doing his thing. Obviously, they're missing some guys still, but this is a very dangerous offense. Currently tied for first in the majors in runs scored. So, looking at the numbers, we see the Diamondbacks at plus 115, the Dodgers at minus 135. Got a total of 9 out there. Arizona 13-9 on the road, 12-9-1 to the over on the road. The Dodgers 17-8 at home, 17-8 to the over at home. That's an MLB best to the over, but I'm siding with the Diamondbacks here at plus 115 with a very reasonable spot to be our dog of the day because I love what I'm seeing from Corbin Burns. I love what I've been seeing from the Diamondbacks just in general recently. The Dodgers are so banged up, and Dustin May on the mound doesn't fill me with any sort of optimism at all. So give me the Diamondbacks here at plus 115 as a possible dog of the day or possibly just a regular play. Now, guys, hopping into Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. The Pacers come into this game, guys, fresh off of a dominant 4-1 series win there over the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won the last game of that series, 114-105. Halliburton looking amazing, hitting huge shots throughout the playoffs now. He's looked very, very good. So pretty high on Halliburton. Siakam's been very solid. Neesmith's playing great defense and hitting some shots. Nembhard hitting a ton of shots. We've liked what we've seen from the depth that the Pacers can play with as well. They played a crazy high pace, and they are going to make you work, and they're going to use that depth to as much of an advantage as they possibly can. They also come into this series fully healthy, so that's a big deal. The Knicks needed 6 games to eliminate the Celtics. Crazy celebrations there going on in New York. That Tatum injury definitely helped, but it kind of felt like there was a decent chance the Knicks were going to win that series anyway, which feels a little bit wild. Now, we've loved what we've seen from Brunson. OG Anunoby had a big bounce-back game in Game 6 there, and overall, the Knicks played great. The problem that I see for this team is they are shallow. They only play 7 guys. I'm not super high on Miles McBride and what he can do on a nightly basis. Mitchell Robinson can come in and make a difference in his 15 to 20 minutes, but not a guy you can count on for a ton of minutes. So a little bit worried here about the Knicks. Now, the numbers for this game, we see the Knicks at minus 4.5. We got a total of 224. The Pacers, 23-23 against spread on the road this season, 49-41-2 to the over this year. The Knicks, 24-22-1 against the spread at home, 47-45-2 to the over themselves. I do think over 224.5 or 224 is live in this game. I think that's a reasonable spot. In terms of a side, I'm going to be siding just slightly towards the Pacers in the points, or at least that's what I'm seeing right now. This isn't a spot that I'm necessarily locking in. It's not like not going to go in the pinned comment. Early on in the series, guys, it's a little bit of a feeling out process, but I do think the Pacers can make the Knicks work. Tire Brunson out a little bit. They are going to play full court defense quite a bit, and that can really make things a little bit rough on you. So we'll see what happens in terms of the side, in terms of the total. I've got a couple player props that I think are extremely live in this game, though. I like Halliburton over 18.5 points, coming off a 31-point game to end that series against Cleveland, and the perimeter defense from the Knicks, it will be way better, but I don't think they're going to hold him under 20 points. That just feels a little bit extra to me. So Halliburton to get over on his points feels reasonable. I also like Miles Turner over 6.5 rebounds. He had 7 boards in that closeout game over the Cavaliers, and they have some monsters there on the board, so I think it's going to get a little bit easier here for him to get some rebounds just to get his numbers on the glass, and getting to 7 boards here in Game 1, I don't think will be too nuts, but once again, guys, take these plays here in Game 1 of the series with a little bit of caution. We got to see how these matchups work. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're one of the winners of the giveaway, guys, please get down there in the comments and let me know that you see that you won, and we will get your information and get those items out to you as quick as we possibly can. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com, getting on that free email list. It's great information straight to your inbox every single day. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll be down in the comments like I am every single day. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com, and we'll see you tomorrow very, very soon here. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.